Snape, Snape, Severus Snape.
So today I'm going to be looking at this classic PS1 game. Why did I do the air quotes, I hear you ask? Well, it's because the only thing this piece of mouldy goat's cheese has got going for it is that Harry Potter stars in it.
I'm not really 100% sure whether I'm comfortable with that being the core selling point for a product. At this point, I wouldn't be surprised if they decided to sell actual vomit-flavoured Bertie Bott's Every Flavoured Beans. I'm sure these days someone would buy them if they had the Harry Potter branding on them. Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone was quite obviously a movie tie-in. Back in 2001, when the first Harry Potter movie came out, I was 10, and like most kids of my age group, was super excited to play the video game that tied in with the story. The game was released on multiple platforms at the time, including the PC, the Game Boy Advance, the Game Boy Color, and of course the PS1. Each version of the game was completely different and developed by a separate software house, though EA Games published and released them all at the same time. The PS1 version of the game was developed by Argonaut Software, notable for developing Star Fox for the SNES, and Bestseller Croc, also for the PS1. When you load the game up, you are greeted with a pretty spooky sounding title screen for a children's game. Seriously, all the marketing for this movie was happy-go-lucky, Harry carrying Hedwig round the courtyard stuff. But right from the get-go, the game makes you feel like you're going to enter Mordor. Once you start a new game, the game tries to set the scene by showing a book reading through the story, which pretty much skips over the first half of the movie and plops Harry straight into Hogwarts on his first day. After the Sorting Hat sorts him into
Gryffindor,
you're welcomed by a pretty gnomish looking Dumbledore. In fact, he looks a bit like one of those chocolate Santas you get at Christmas. In typical responsible adult fashion, Dumbledore encourages you to explore and break into as many rooms in Hogwarts as possible. Thanks for caring for my safety, Teach.
nitwit, blubber, oddment, tweak. 4 wonderful words, don't you think?
The game gives you the illusion you can explore a massive castle area, but most of the rooms are closed off for a good chunk of the game. The only diversion you can make before heading off to the Gryffindor common room is to check behind this bookcase. In here you find a magical wizard card, which by the looks of things is bigger than Harry's cupboard under the stairs at his aunt and uncle's. So here it says that the wizarding world doesn't know when Merlin was around, raising a very interesting question. At the beginning of the story, Dumbledore, McGonagall and Hagrid leave Harry on the Dursleys' doorstep. How did they know where the Dursleys live, but not know when the most famous wizard ever was alive? The mind boggles. If you speak to Fred and George, who look like Morph had an affair with a bag of crisps, they tell you to collect Bertie Bott's Every Flavoured Beans in exchange for portrait passwords and give you the one to open the Gryffindor Tower. Now you can explore the castle a bit more and find out pretty quickly that the game is an Ocarina of Time clone and not a good one. In Ocarina fashion, the game makes you jump when you walk to the edge of a ledge, and you can attack with various techniques you learn through the game. These are spells like Flipendo, Wingardium Leviosa, Incendio and Verdimillious, which all have their own situational uses. The biggest thing that separates this from Ocarina of Time, though, is the camera. In Ocarina, you can position the camera behind Link's head by tapping a button. Here, it's a lot more of a faff involving several buttons, which doesn't feel as smooth as it should do. As you progress with the game, you learn that this version of Malfoy is a total weapon. In the books and films, Malfoy is a snob, don't get me wrong, but here, he is a total little evil moron with no explanation given.
Go home to your mother, Potter. Oh, sorry, you don't have one, do you?
For some reason, he steals Hedwig, and you have to go and find her. Thanks a bunch, mate. That felt justified. Pretty sure I'll be pulling my hair and untying my shoelaces next. This all culminates in a wizard crackers duel, in which you learn that the combat is boring as sin, and that Malfoy wants revenge for something.
You're not leaving this castle until I have revenge.
What did I do to you, Malfoy? It's you who stole my flippin' owl!
Just check out this classic piece of visual humour in case you're not convinced this game is complete mouldy bread.
After exploring the castle a bit more, you come across this legend, Nearly Headless Nick. Just listen to this John Cleese impersonation.
If you want to look around, press your triangle button. That should stop the wretched things. Watch out for those poisonous snail trails. This is a jinx block. Your Flipendo knockback jinx will move it aside.
Hello, Harry Potter, I'm the Gryffindor House Ghost. Did you know that I was in 007 Racing? Yes! It's not long before Harry gets given flying lessons by Madam Hooch. On his own. Just like in the movie.
I am Madam Hooch, your teacher.
I'm Madam Hooch! Hello!
Do you know, I can't find the words to describe how pants this control is. It's inverted, so every time you want to move down, it goes up. Plus, the turns are ridiculously sharp and unforgiving. Just do one! Classic fly-through rings bad game design. You can fly into Madam Hooch to wind her up though, so there's that. After that boring flying section, it's time for your first classroom-based lesson. This is with Professor Flitwick to learn Wingardium Leviosa. All of the classroom levels follow the same pattern. There's an intro assault course type thing you need to do to get into the lesson, followed by a button combo puzzle when you get there to learn the spell or potion in question. It really is as boring as it looks.
It's also worth noting at this point that these particular teachers shouldn't be allowed to work around children.
Watch my wand move, it's going to get harder.
Use your wand on the bouncing ball. Snape gives me the willies.
It's time to head to Hagrid's house. When you get there, Hagrid alludes to strange goings-on.
Been some very strange goings-on of late.
This is of course in contrast to wizards, giants, flying tables and levitation spells.
Can you fetch me some fire seeds from a rare plant in the forest?
This in-universe version of Hagrid is again completely different than his book and film counterpart and has no issue putting you in danger. Like, life-threatening danger.
Look at this lava! How was Hogwarts not erupted? Once you give Hagrid the fire seeds, he hatches Norbert and gives Harry a book. You'll also note that he has a 4-foot portrait of Dumbledore at the back of his house. After Harry navigates the fiery pits of hell for the fire seeds, Neville Longbottom says to him that everyone's favourite Muppet Malfoy has stolen his Remember-All. This leads to another annoying flying segment where Harry has to chase Malfoy. Once Harry gets Neville his Remember-All back, Professor McGonagall tells Harry she was watching him and that because of his incredible flying skills, he can become the Gryffindor Seeker. This is followed by a ridiculously quick segue into Harry's first Quidditch match.
Wow! You're going to play Quidditch? Everyone's talking about you becoming a Seeker, Harry.
As soon as I heard, I rushed down from my hut to give you a big congratulations.
So this leads Harry into his first Quidditch match, assumedly not knowing the rules and having only heard the word 15 minutes prior.
You know, this is just dumb. Quidditch is a dumb sport anyway, but this game with its naff flying mechanics just finished me off. I could go on, but there really is just more of the same after this. You go to a class, you solve a silly puzzle with an item, with occasional Quidditch matches littered in. That's it, rinse and repeat.
The graphics are bad even by PS1 standards. The gameplay's like playing Ocarina of Time with broken fingers, and the pacing of the story isn't even faithful to the source material.
This game should be called Harry Potter and the Suspiciously Long First Day. Every now and then I get a pang to play it, and then quickly remember why I hated it the last time after playing it for half an hour.
Thanks for watching. I'm going to go and cry now into my copy of the Philosopher's Stone book. So good compared to this game. See you later.